you doing? You like my Snuggie today? Look at that. I went and got me a different Snuggie, and this is strawberries. I love strawberries. Strawberries is associated with a beautiful memory that I've had when I was little. Love strawberries. So, um, if you're new, welcome here. I'm glad that you found me. If you're coming back, welcome back. Thank you for returning. So grateful to you. Still setting up everything between the readings and the talks and stuff like that. So let's dive on into it. If what I talk about resonates with you, please like and subscribe. Please comment, but I only ask for positive comments. I don't deal with negative comments. So negative comments will be erased because it doesn't help anybody. And with that, let's get started. All right, y'all. I'm not going to talk super long today. But one thing I did want to talk about is, you know how we've been talking about the time is coming. Time is coming. Time is coming. I wanted to tell you the time is now here. Well, Miss Divine, what time are you talking about? Remember, everyone has been talking about the time for change, the time for transformation, the time to move forward, the time to leave shit behind that no longer serves you. That time is here. I got confirmation for myself. It was over. Ooh, so happy. Got confirmation through a transformation. Got confirmation about what I was seeing things come to roost. I said, whether at work, home in my life, things I said was going to happen has started happening. Things I said was going to happen, get people getting got, going to happen. That's what happening. I said, ooh, it's time now. The collection time is now. So, what does that mean, Divine? What are you talking about? Okay, first of all, when things start moving in your favor, we celebrate that they're moving in our favor. But we do not celebrate the hard times and the karma that others are going to get. Now, some people may say, Divine, I'm fat. Shit, I'm celebrating. Okay. What happens to your grace? You sitting up celebrating someone else's revenge. I'll wait. That's why you go through the whole process of forgiving somebody in the first place. Because if you sat up and really forgave them, you're not going to sit up and celebrate at their downfall, because guess what? Your downfall is right around the corner. You just, as a divine and a chosen one, you know better. And you waited for your blessings. Why in the hell are you going to put them on the back burner by celebrating someone's downfall? That is not how a divine or chosen one acts. Again, you may be a chosen one, you may be a divine, you may be a star seed, but baby, that does not mean that you are not responsible, where you got to keep that in check and hold on to that and be like, okay, the path I'm supposed to walk. Yeah, Spirit may forgive you at any time, baby, but that don't mean your brownie points don't go down. Okay? That don't mean that the seat that you were given doesn't ever change. Yes, it does. It changes based on what you do. So don't think that you can sit up here and do whatever the hell you want to do and that seat's still going to be sitting for you. Hell no. It's a balancing act every fucking time. Now is the time for you to collect and receive. Now is the time. However, there are ways in which you have to act in doing that. And that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about. So, with that being said, okay, 1, you ask for grace, you give grace. Okay? You do things wrong in this world too, right? You ask for grace, you give grace. Okay? That's 1. Ooh. Okay? That's confirmation right there. 2, forgiveness. You walk in forgiveness. Okay? They're hurting. They're getting the revenge. They're getting their shit back. Okay? They ain't got nothing to do with you. You still continue walking on in the path in which you're to go. You leave them the spirit and you leave that alone. You don't need to watch that. You don't need to watch that downfall. You don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know how it's going to affect you. You may turn around and be like, oh, no, I didn't want all that to happen. I told you, leave it alone. I told you to move forward, didn't I? You move forward and leave it alone. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Leave it alone. Okay. 3, have your plan ready of what you're moving towards so you're not moving backwards. Now, this part is the part of the program. This is where you're constantly checking your thoughts. You're constantly checking what you say. You're constantly checking what you do. You're making sure that those 3 things are in alignment. You have to be, your thoughts, your speech, and what you do have to be in alignment. That is your right thought, your right speech, your right action. And I know you've heard of that before. Those have to be in alignment. And those have to be in alignment with your third brain and making sure that that's what you want. That's what you're moving toward. Let me have you understand something. This universe mirrors back to you exactly what it is that you want. Okay? Remember, you're not to worry about the how, but the what. It mirrors back to you what you want. Whatever you can think of is possible on this plane. Understand that. But you got to also understand the consequences that go along with that, with you calling that in. You're responsible for that. So be mindful of your goals. In my book and in education, we talk about SMART goals. And I set up in my book with you and how to create SMART goals for your life and for yourself. Okay? So I wanted you to be mindful of that. And I want you to understand that this is a process. Just because you're receiving, baby, don't mean that you're not responsible. Just because you're receiving doesn't mean you can't fuck it up. Yes, you can. This is your chance not to fuck it up this time and not to move your ass in the karmic waters, to stay in divine waters. But where you need to go in those divine waters is what is important, how you need to tread that. And that's what I'm telling you. 4, gratefulness. You have been through the bullshit. You have walked through all of that. Now, it is for you not to return back to that. Baby, if Spirit thinks you will, it will throw a lesson in for you to hit you to see, okay, is this moving back to that? Or are they moving forward from what I told them to move forward from? I think it won't. It's a will. So you walk in gratitude. You walk in gratitude for the lesson that you learned. You walk in gratitude for that enemy that taught you that lesson, that enemy that was your catalyst for that lesson. Baby, move forward. You are now given a clean slate in which to move. Now, I want you to keep in mind 5, all the work you have been through to get to your reward point, to get to the point where you vibrate higher so you can start manifesting the things that you needed in your life. You went through hell to get to this point. You don't let nobody knock you off of that. You don't let nobody come in and take that away from you. You don't let no one come in and take your blessings away by doing some bumped up ass magic shit on you to make you confused. You waddle through the murky and the fog and the mist and all of that to be able to see clearly. Don't waste that on something frivolous, material, something not important. Don't waste it on that. Don't do that. So you have gratitude of where you're at on your journey. There's a reason why you're here, because you have to sit in the space to be able to receive and give that flow. I talk about that in the book, that flow. Everything is a mirrored reaction and everything is a flow. Everything is a flow. You getting and them not is a flow. But you screwing it up will screw up the right flow. It will screw up your blessings for you. Don't think that your shit can't be taken from you at any time. Be a divine or a chosen one or start seeing that karmic. See what happens to you. You went through all of that work to get to where you are in the graces. You went through all of that work. Why the hell would you ruin all of that work? Right? 6, be ready to receive. Be ready to receive. Receive it in love. Receive it in gratefulness. Let your ego alone. You know what it's like to sit in your ego. You know what it's like to be in your ego. You know what it's like to not receive being in your ego, right? Let your ego go. You've been flowing and maintaining at a steady pace, or just flow, and what comes to you and stuff like that. Stay in that flow. Stay in that flow. Let that ego go. Because that ego doesn't serve unless it's in the aspect of defending yourself, defending your love for yourself, and that and all and so on and so forth. But other than that, it doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't. So it's just an identifier of who you are, your starting point of who you are. But you are energy. You're an energetic being, high vibrating energetic being, right? That makes it to where there's some things that they can't touch you. Ooh, too bad. Keep moving where they can't touch you. Keep moving to where they're not where you're at. And they don't need to touch you because they're not where you're at. You're where you're at. You don't need to worry about where they're at unless there's warnings coming in for you. You don't need to worry about where they're at. Bump them niggas. You be where you are. You be in your light and in your dark to know how to balance them out, because it's all a balancing act at this point. You don't need to look back and talk about anybody. You don't need to go and be petty. You don't need to go and be hateful. And some people I used to know used to love and sit up in that petty space. And it does feel good for a minute. But what does that do to your energy? It moves you right back into that space where you were. Now you knock down karmic with them. No, babe. You stay on that higher level. Higher levels where they can't touch you. Higher levels when you're walking in love. You don't need to look back and act any less than that. So now at this point of your transformation, you're now going to receive. You have to walk as that higher being you are. You have to walk in that knowing of love. Now is the time for you to put it all together. All those videos I have made of the different things, now it's putting it all together. When it's time to actually walk in your grace, to walk in your blessings, it's now time to put it all together and into practice. Spirit now watches to see how you put together everything you've learned, putting it all together. The grace, the forgiveness, the forgiving your enemy, the walking in love still, despite what people are doing to you, the staying authentic to yourself and who you are and loving yourself and not having to be hateful toward other people. You just loving you, right? All of that comes into play. All of that now is being tested. Every single bit of that is being tested now. I want you to understand. And of course, you're going to make mistakes. But before you are hateful and judging someone, think about what you just been through. Think about what was done to you. Think about how it felt. And think about if you really want to be there again. Think about that before you move into those waters. Think about that. Because that is heavy. Okay? And it will move you back into karmic if you keep on playing games. It will. Despite what you remember. Because it's all a lesson here. Okay? I want you, thank you. I want you to stay in that divine space. I want you to continue on in that path and take that to where you need to go. Karmics, writing a book for you too on how to move to your divine status. Thank you. So, know you can. Know where you've been, like Dr. Carter G. Woodson said. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. You know where you've been. You know where you've been. You know where you can go because you know where you've been. You already know what you've been through. So let's knock it out, y'all. Let's now create. We'll create on the way that we're supposed to be, doing what we're supposed to be doing, leaving the haters and the bumpers alone. We're moving forward. Moving forward what we got to do in our greatness. All right, y'all. Love you. Hope this helps you. Keep moving forward now. You're in the move forward. You're in the blessings place. That's what I call it. You're in the blessing space right now to receive your blessings. Let's stay there. Move forward. Stay in balance. Move forward. Love. That's how you stay there. Love. Love of yourself authentically and love of others authentically. All right, y'all. I will talk to you later. Love you. Love you on your journey. We got this. We're going to keep stepping forward. Take care now. Namaste.